Have you ever met someone over 80 who just radiates energy? They move with ease, their eyes sparkle, and they seem to have cracked the code on aging. What's their secret? It's not just good genes, it's good habits. I used to think aging was all about luck, but after talking to doctors and testing things myself, I've learned that thriving after 80 is totally within your control. The key? A few simple doctor-approved steps that keep your body strong, your mind sharp, and your spirit unshakable. Ready to unlock the secrets to aging well? Let's dive into the 5 habits that make all the difference. 1. Move every day, but make it fun. The single biggest mistake we can make as we age? Stopping movement. Our bodies were designed to move, and when we stop, everything slows down. Our metabolism, our circulation, and even our mood. Exercise isn't just about avoiding stiff joints, it literally keeps you younger. It supports brain function, strengthens bones, and even helps prevent falls. But let's be real, not everyone wakes up excited to do a workout. The trick is to find movement that feels fun and natural, rather than something that feels like a chore. My friend Linda, for example, swears by her morning dance breaks. Every day she puts on her favorite oldies and just dances around the house like nobody's watching. She says it wakes her up, makes her feel good, and keeps her body moving without feeling like exercise. Another friend, who struggled with back pain, started chair yoga and says it's completely transformed how she feels. Her posture has improved, she has fewer aches and pains, and she's even more flexible than she was 10 years ago. Doctors say that the best exercise is the one you'll actually stick with. That means if you hate the gym, skip it. Instead, try something that brings you joy and movement at the same time. It could be a simple morning walk, light stretching before bed, or even getting out in the garden and pulling some weeds. Swimming is fantastic for joint health, and even housework counts as movement if you do it with energy. The key is consistent movement. Just 30 minutes a day can reduce inflammation, improve balance, and keep your heart strong. And if you ever feel too tired to start, here's a little trick. Tell yourself you'll move for just 5 minutes. Whether it's walking around the house or doing a few stretches, 9 times out of 10, once you start moving, you'll keep going. The hardest part is just getting started, but once you do, you'll feel lighter, looser, and more energized. So if you're over 80 and want to keep thriving, the secret isn't to slow down, it's to keep moving in a way that feels good to you. 2. Prioritize protein for strength and energy. You ever meet someone in their 80s who's still strong and full of energy, while others the same age seem to struggle with weakness and fatigue? One big reason for this difference? Protein intake. As we get older, our bodies naturally start losing muscle faster, which leads to a slower metabolism, lower energy, and even an increased risk of falls. But the good news? Doctors say eating enough protein can slow this process down dramatically. It helps preserve muscle mass, keeps you feeling full longer, and even helps with wound healing and immune function. I used to think I was eating well, but once I started tracking my meals, I realized I wasn't getting nearly enough protein. I'd have a piece of toast for breakfast, maybe a light salad for lunch, and by dinner time I was exhausted and reaching for something quick. But after making a few simple changes, like adding eggs, lean meats, beans, Greek yogurt, and nuts to my meals, I noticed a huge difference. I felt stronger, more energized, and less sluggish throughout the day. If you struggle with appetite, which can be common as we age, the trick is to spread your protein intake throughout the day, rather than trying to get it all in one big meal. A scoop of protein powder in your morning coffee, a handful of almonds or cheese, with fruit in the afternoon, and lean protein at dinner, can all add up without feeling overwhelming. Doctors recommend aiming for at least 20–30 grams of protein per meal to maintain strength and muscle mass. And if you think you're getting enough, double check. Many people over 80 aren't hitting their protein goals, and they don't even realize it. The difference is undeniable. When you prioritize protein, you feel stronger, steadier on your feet, and more capable of handling everyday activities. And that, my friend, is one of the biggest secrets to thriving after 80. 3. keep your brain engaged. And no, TV doesn't count. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Doctors agree that staying mentally active isn't just about keeping your mind sharp. It can actually reduce the risk of dementia, improve memory, and boost overall mood and motivation. But here's the catch: it's not enough to just keep busy. The type of activities you engage in matter when it comes to keeping your brain strong and resilient. For years, I thought simply watching TV or reading the news was enough to keep my mind active. But the truth is, passive activities don't challenge your brain the way it needs to be challenged. Watching TV, for example, is something your brain processes without much effort, so it doesn't strengthen your cognitive function the way interactive learning does. That's why doctors encourage activities that push you just outside your comfort zone, things that require a little effort, but still feel enjoyable. I have a dear friend, Margaret, who turned 85 last year, and instead of slowing down, she decided to learn Italian just for fun. She started with a language app, practicing a few words every morning over coffee. Within a few months, she could hold small conversations, and now she even listens to Italian radio stations just to keep up with it. She swears that challenging her brain like this has made her feel sharper and more engaged in life than ever before. Another friend of mine picked up piano lessons in her late 70s. She had always wanted to learn, but for years she told herself it was too late. One day she finally sat down and gave it a shot. Now playing music has become her favorite daily ritual. It keeps her hands nimble, improves her concentration, and gives her a deep sense of accomplishment. And here's something interesting: even small, everyday challenges can help keep your brain young. Something as simple as doing word puzzles, trying out a new recipe, or switching up your daily routine can give your brain the workout it needs. Reading is fantastic, but try switching genres or discussing books with a friend to engage in deeper thinking. Even learning small new skills, whether it's knitting a new pattern, experimenting with a new hobby, or memorizing a poem, can stimulate brain activity in ways that help keep your mind alert and engaged. One of the most powerful brain boosters, though, is socializing. Conversations challenge memory, encourage quick thinking, and create a natural sense of connection that supports mental and emotional health. Simply talking to a friend, joining a club, or chatting with your neighbors can reduce stress, boost happiness, and improve cognitive function. My doctor once told me that having meaningful conversations is like a workout for the brain, and ever since then, I've made an effort to call an old friend at least once a week, even if it's just for a quick chat. The bottom line? Your brain craves stimulation. If you want to stay mentally sharp well into your 80s and beyond, you have to give it new things to process, learn, and engage with. The best part? It doesn't have to be boring or difficult. It just has to be new, interactive, and a little bit challenging. 4. Protect your sleep like your life depends on it. Because it does. Ever wake up after a bad night's sleep and feel like you've aged 10 years overnight? It's not just in your head. Sleep is your body's repair mode, and when you don't get enough of it, everything suffers. Your skin looks dull, your mind feels foggy, and your energy levels take a nosedive. Over time, poor sleep can do even more than just leave you feeling groggy. It can lead to memory problems, a weakened immune system, and even increase the risk of heart disease. For years, I struggled with sleep. I'd go to bed at a reasonable hour, only to wake up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning for hours. I'd try everything: reading, counting sheep, even warm milk, but nothing seemed to work, and by morning, I felt like I'd barely slept at all. I chalked it up to getting older, but deep down, I knew there had to be a solution. It wasn't until I started researching and listening to doctors that I finally cracked the code on better sleep. One of the biggest things I learned: your body loves routine. I used to go to bed at different times every night, depending on how tired I felt. But once I committed to going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, something amazing happened. My body naturally started adjusting. Instead of struggling to fall asleep, I found myself getting drowsy at the same time each night, and when I woke up, I actually felt rested. Another game changer: avoiding screens before bed. I used to wind down by scrolling through my phone or watching TV, not realizing that the blue light was tricking my brain into staying awake. Once I switched to reading a book or listening to soft music instead, I started falling asleep faster and sleeping more deeply. And let's talk about one of the sneakiest culprits: caffeine. I used to enjoy an afternoon cup of tea or coffee, thinking it wasn't affecting me, but when I finally cut off caffeine, after 2 p.m., I noticed a huge difference. No more staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering why my brain wouldn't shut off. Another trick that helped: keeping my bedroom cool and dark. Your body actually sleeps better when the room is slightly cooler, so I started turning the thermostat down at night and using blackout curtains to keep the room dim. It might sound simple, but the difference was incredible. Sleep isn't just about getting through the night, it's about how you feel the next day. When you get good sleep, your energy levels soar, your brain works better, and even your skin looks healthier. It's one of the easiest ways to slow aging and keep your body strong. So if you're struggling, start small, stick to a schedule, cut back on late-day caffeine, and give yourself a real wind-down routine. After a week or two, you'll be amazed at how much better you feel. 5. Stay social. It's a lifesaver. Literally. Want to know the real fountain of youth? Connection. Science has confirmed what many of us have felt in our hearts all along. Staying social doesn't just make life richer, it makes it longer. Studies show that people who maintain strong relationships live longer, experience lower stress levels, and even have sharper memories. In fact, social connection is as important to our health as diet and exercise. But let's be honest, after 80, staying social isn't always as easy as it once was. Friends move away, families get busy with their own lives, and suddenly, the days start to feel a little lonelier. I've been there. The invites slow down, the phone rings less often, and before you know it, you realize you're spending more time alone than you ever intended. And while solitude can be peaceful, too much of it can make life feel smaller than it should be. The best decision I ever made? Prioritizing connection. I realized that waiting for people to reach out to me wasn't working. I had to take the first step, so I did. I joined a book club, even though I wasn't sure I'd fit in. I started calling friends instead of waiting for them to call me. I even made a habit of chatting with strangers, yes, even at the grocery store. And do you know what? It changed everything. At first, it felt a little awkward. I worried I might be bothering people. But the more I reached out, the more I realized something beautiful. People are craving connection just as much as I was. That friend I hadn't spoken to in months, she had been meaning to call me too. That woman I struck up a conversation with in line at the post office, she told me I made her day. Doctors say that having just 1 or 2 close friends can dramatically improve your health and longevity. That means you don't need a huge social circle to thrive. Just a couple of meaningful connections can make all the difference. But connection doesn't have to be limited to old friendships. One of the most rewarding things I ever did was open myself up to new people. It's easy to think we've made all the friends we're going to make in life, but that's simply not true. There are so many interesting, kind, and wonderful people out there, waiting to connect, sometimes in the most unexpected places. If getting out of the house feels like a challenge, start small. Say hello to a neighbor, strike up a conversation with someone at the coffee shop, or make it a habit to ask about a cashier's day when you're checking out. Even these small social interactions light up parts of the brain associated with joy and connection. And if mobility is an issue, technology can be a lifeline. I know people who have rekindled childhood friendships through social media, joined virtual book clubs, and even started pen pal friendships through email. Connection isn't about how you do it, it's about making the effort. So don't let loneliness creep in. Call that old friend you've been thinking about. Invite someone for coffee, or sign up for a new class. Because at the end of the day, thriving after 80 isn't about stopping the clock, it's about living fully, every single day. Alright, my fabulous friends, aging is inevitable, but how do you age? That's up to you. These 5 doctor-approved habits aren't about adding years to your life, they're about adding life to your years. So which one will you try first? Or do you already have a secret trick that keeps you thriving? Drop it in the comments. I love hearing from you. And if you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button. Think of it as your VIP pass to staying vibrant and unstoppable at any age. Until next time, stay active, stay social, and most importantly, stay you.